Hello, I'm Troy Parker, president of Innovative Labor and Cleaning. This is another Mental Health Monday. Someone asked me the other day, they were saying, sometimes when I talk to you, you say the same things over and over. And I had to explain to them that repetition is key. That is the way we learn, and that is the way you program your subconscious mind. As I've explained before, all of us, I don't care who you are controlled by the patterns and basically, as Bob Proctor called it, the paradigm that we have put in our subconscious mind. It's like a program. Kind of like if you're at home and you say, okay, hey, your kids or yourself have a gaming system and you want to play a particular game. Say it's NFL or it's NBA. When you put that game in there or go to that game, that's the program that's going to run on that gaming system. If you all of a sudden want to play Candy Crush, you can't just say, okay, I want to play Candy Crush and start playing. No, you have to remove the game or switch to the Candy Crush and get out of the NBA or NFL game that you were playing. It's the same with your subconscious mind. Many things in our life today, computers, gaming systems, are made off of how our minds actually work. It's no different on your phone. If you're in your email and you all of a sudden want to go send a text, you have to what? Get out of the email, close Google, and then go to your text. It's the same in your subconscious mind. But to do this, to change what's already in your subconscious mind, one, you got to know what's in there. And then two, you got to work through repetition to change it. And most of us don't know what's in our subconscious mind. Real quick, the way you find out what's in your subconscious mind is actually taking the time to be aware of your thoughts. You might hear people talk about, you must be aware, you got to be conscious. But a lot of people don't tell you, what the hell is that? So you're just like, oh, I'm conscious, man, I'm conscious. And when you ask them to explain it, and I've done this to a lot of people, like, well, what is consciousness? And they'll be like, oh, man, it's just being aware. Now they just said another word about another word, but they really don't tell you what it is. Being aware is seeing your thoughts. So when thoughts come by, like a thought may come by in your mind that no one likes me, or I never get the job, I'm always last, I can't find good friends. When those thoughts come through, write them down. And after a week or so, you'll have all these different thoughts. That'll give you a framework of what's in your subconscious mind. Growing up, many times since I came up and I had to go to special classes, I rode the little short bus, and I would say, well, I need to do something with my hands, because when I was in 5th, 6th grade, the guidance counselor came and told me, Troy, you're not probably going to be a business owner or something like that. You'll need to learn a trade. So I would tell myself, well, you can never run a business. Or I'd say I'm too short, because people would say on sports in high school or pee-wee ball, but you're never going to make it to the NFL. So then that was the next one. After I saw all these thoughts and I wrote them down, I saw that this was the program. Too short. It could be, well, because I'm African American. It could be because I'm a female. We tell ourselves these things and we don't even realize we're picking up this garbage because society tells it. How many times have you heard about, well, women, there is a glass ceiling. Then you look, well, where the hell is the glass ceiling? It's in your mind, because we've told ourselves these things. But then you see other women bust through these things and you're like, well, wait a minute. She's a corporate executive in a Fortune 500 company. Now, I'm not saying it's not hard, and I'm not saying there isn't some type of barriers, but there is no barrier that your mind cannot overcome. Because whatever faith you are, that power, that is whether you call it God, whether you call it Allah, whatever you call it, can get you and show you how to reach any goal that you want to reach. So, understanding what our subconscious mind does. Next, finding out what's in it and then how to change it. You change it by repetition. In other words, when you get those negative thoughts, or maybe you're studying some course on self-improvement, you might listen to a different video, but it might be on the same topic. Or you could have a book, and I learned this from Bob Proctor, where he talked about he had the book, or has the book, Think and Grow Rich. And he would read from it every day, and he'd been doing this for like 60 years. At first, when I heard it, I'm like, why the hell would you read the same book over and over again for years? But after I started doing it, and I did it by accident, because when I was in prison, I only had 2 books, and I would reread the same book, because I'm like, okay, I get bored, nothing else to do, and you start reading because you want to pass the time. But you would find something else in the chapter that you're like, man, I never saw that before. Now, in your head, you're almost like, it's like the book's changing, like, somebody comes in and writes something different. but it's not. Your consciousness picks up different things each time because it's growing. But I never understood this until I heard Bob Proctor say it, because I thought, well, hell, I just had to do it because I only had 2 books. But the repetition of going over maybe the same material, when we learned our ABCs, what did? We kept singing the A, B, C, D, E, F. You kept saying it. And through repetition or writing letters, you kept tracing the letters. This is how it gets to the point where now if I say write a 2, you don't have to think about it, you just write a 2. Well, that's because that program's in your subconscious mind, and now you just do it automatically. And so it's the same with once you want to replace those negative thoughts with new ones, you have to continuously see yourself, think of yourself, and listen to things repetitively that will help you get that new program put in there. So that is what's fueling and driving your life. So repetition, sometimes you'll hear me re-say something I said in another video, but I'm doing it on purpose because the more times you hear it, that'll be the more times it'll get down into that subconscious mind, and then it can cause you to do things and think of certain things that will help you then change your subconscious program, which will then change your life. I hope this helps you, and as always, remember, it's up to you to make your life better.